welcome everyone. We are excited to continue our silver interviews from our teammates. I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who have shared your story in the last few months with us. It takes a lot to share your heart, share your why, share what drives you in this business. And so I appreciate you guys for sharing and know that, just this one share goes such a long way um, and makes a really big difference in all of our lives. And so we appreciate you guys for doing this. And thank you, Charity. What's really exciting about Charity is she's been a silver for a while. Well, now she's gold. So I'm sure she'll tell you that. But she's been a silver for a while. And she's our first silver beyond my front line and my leader, Aiko, there she is. Aiko's first leader to hit silver. Aiko has five silvers on her team. Look at that. Charity is her first, and Charity is one of our very first silvers on our entire team. So it's been such an honor and pleasure to see your journey, see your growth, and grow a relationship with you as well, Charity. So I will let you go ahead and start and introduce yourself to the team. And yeah, you can kind of just get started. What's your journey been? And
Okay. Okay, guys, I am sniffing all the peace right now because for some reason I'm super nervous. And RJ's like, what? Why are you nervous? Like, guys sometimes are like, why are you nervous? And I'm like, well, it's like my silver call and all the attention's going to be on me. He's like, isn't that the same thing when you're teaching a class? All the attention's on you. I was like, it's different. But anyway, cheers, guys. You guys know me on calls. I usually have a cocktail. So definitely if you have some, yes. Cheers to you guys. Okay, for those of you that do not know me, my name is Charity Paiva. I was a barba when I first started. So sometimes when I jump on Zoom, you might see barba. Some people like, who the heck is Charity Barba or who the heck is Charity Paiva? But that's me. I started doTERRA about 3.5 years ago in, what was it, August 2017. And I had started because I saw Aiko post something about Deep Blue. So at the time, I was managing Home Bar and Grill and I was still working out, but it was just super hectic, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm interested in this Deep Blue. She's like, use it after the gym for sore muscles. So was it? Did you give me a bottle, a tube, or a sample? I think it was a sample, yeah? I don't know. Maybe it was a sample. Anyway, I tried the Deep Blue and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? And rewind before that. So Aiko and I are from the Big Island. We went to high school together. So I know her from, back home. And then um we both lived on Oahu. She went off to college, she came back, she was on Oahu, and we never saw each other. We were friends on, I think, social media, never, ever, ever crossed paths like in the mall. And, Honolulu is like such a small town. So, anyway, Deep Blue, I'm like, okay, interested. I love it. And then I think maybe I ordered, then she sent me this sample pack with the, I think it had peppermint, lavender, wild orange. Was that what happened? Sorry, it's been so long. But anyway, um, or did we go to meet with Kamanu? Was that the next step, or did you give me a sample? Anyway, tried the sample. I remember using it driving to Kapoho. From Hilo to Kapoho on the Big Island is about 20, 30 minutes. And we were like, RJ was driving. He's like, I'm super sleepy. And I was like, oh, I have these oils. Like, Aiko gave me these oils. He's like, what? Like, oh, just try it. Just try it. So like do the peppermint and wild orange. And he's driving. So I'm like, smell it, smell it. He's like, what? But he's like, oh, it smells good. Put it on the back of his neck. He's like, okay. So I was like, okay, I use up all my samples. I'm really digging it. And then she's like, okay, like I'm gonna meet up with some friends about doTERRA. Like, why don't you sign up? So like, oh, okay. So we go there. And if you guys heard Kamanu's story, you know that we're both super hungover. Like we're showing up and it's, I don't even know, brunch time. And she's like, oh, let's go meet over here, Arvo. I'm like, oh, this is a cute spot, but I'm like hungover and I'm like, I need to eat something because I'm having a hard time paying attention to what Ike was saying. Like, it's so hot. We're sitting outside. But anyway, she gives us peppermint and wild orange, right? And then I sniff it and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then yeah, that was kind of it. It was like sign up with her, and then I just instantly loved the oils. I was so pulled to it, and so I started sharing at work at Home Bar, right? So I was like using my oils and I was telling everybody about it. And then I think my first order after my enrollment order was like $400 or something like that. And then Aiko was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, and she was like, "Girl, you should just do the business." And she's like, "You're sharing anyway. You might as well get paid." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." I miss home bar too, Michelle. But I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, totally." Like there was no reservations. There was no like, I cannot do this. I just love the oils that much that I was like, I'm in, right? So um in goes this journey. And at the time, the reason why I feel like doTERRA came into my life was that I was working long hours, super stressed out, trying to work out, trying to be healthy. I think stress was a big thing. I wasn't managing it well. I would just drink, right? You work in a bar life. That's what you do to manage stress. You guys get off of work. You want to have a couple beers turns into shots. And then this whole vicious cycle before you know it's like 2, 3 a.m. and you got to wake up early to take care of your kids, right? So after a while, like my body was just like, you can't do this anymore. And at 36, I just felt like I should have been 46. So I was praying for a better solution to manage my stress, and in comes Aiko and rescues me, and hopping on the doTERRA train, right? Um, so I started, I guess, September actively building. If you guys are old school, I know some of you are. We did the pre-elite program, which was 8 dedicated and intense weeks of like homework and personal development. We had little assignments and stuff like that. But what I really loved about the pre-elite program was the personal development part, right? It was like belief in yourself, like I'm capable, I am successful. So you're like doing those mantras every day, right? You see, put up the notes, whatever. So I feel like that was the best part of pre-elite, and you learn stuff along the way too, right? Like the building basics. But it was very it was a commitment of time too, on a mentor side and then on a builder side too. But that's what we did, right? Okay, so let's go into it. And I think I hit elite. Oh geez, November of 2018. No, November of that year, 2017. And then the way I had structured, I feel like I kind of sat at elite. I was trying to go back and see the time frame. Sorry guys, it's been so long, but I feel like I was checking the emails. But anyway, I think it was elite, and then I sat at elite forever because I had like 3 legs. So overall volume, elite 3000, no problem. But then I was like, whoa, to go to premiere now, like you're gonna be struggling because everything's so widespread. So I was like, okay, gotta focus on these 2 legs. It was again tough to get to premiere, but premiere to silver was quick for me because I was already um had built out 3 legs. So I think it was premiere in May of 2018, and then Bogle came around in July, and then I hit silver for the first time. So that was 2018, which qualified me to go to leadership the next year, which I was so excited. But yeah, again, I sat at elite forever, and I just was like, what felt like forever, because I was like, oh man, this is taking me forever. But again, the jump from premier to silver was faster for me because of the 3 legs. So it worked out okay. And I just feel like on that journey, all those struggles really helped me to be a better leader for my team. So and positivity is my number one strength. You can ask Aiko. She rolls her eyes at me all the time. She's like, "Oh, you're so positive." Yeah, Era's positive Polly, she calls me. But um so it's like nothing. It takes a lot for something to get me down. But also what I had to learn too, that positivity is not going to push me through this business, right? It's actually doing income producing activities, right? I can't just sit and daydream and like be, oh, I just manifested this. No, it takes like work, right? So, and that would be your pipes, your income producing activity, right? So sometimes in this business, we feel like, gosh, there has to be a different way. We make it harder than it really is when it really just boils down to pipes. That's it. Do your pipes, and you can be very successful and find a way to you know give each section the equal amount of time. So pipes anyway. um let's see, that year 2018, so I hit silver in July. I had scheduled to go to convention with the team, but I pulled out last minute because we just purchased our very first home up in Kalihi Valley. So I didn't feel right at the time in my heart to be going to convention when there was work to be done. We're kind of like financially, it was like kind of tight, so I said, I'm going to forego convention that year, and I'm going to start my year off next year with doTERRA leadership. And let me tell you, you want to get to silver because leadership is everything, like everything. It was such an amazing experience to have it first, and Ashley had said it too. And it was really nice because it was a small group of us that had went up, so we got to bond a lot. But just the content there, that you get to see all these leaders, everything is like catered toward building your business. There's all kind of different classes. You get to see like fangirl. I think we saw Keely that first time at leadership. I saw Tara Bliss, and I was like, she's so tall, like a giraffe. And I was like, and I was like, why don't you go ask for a picture? And I was like, she's like, that's not like you. Like, you should just go, But so that was really cool. And then fast forward, I got to go to my first convention with a team, and there was a bunch of you guys that were on the call. We got to go. I roomed with Joy, Kristen, and then we had a last minute. Jen came with us too, so we all got to bond, and that was actually a really nice time too, because you don't really get to bond like that sometimes, and be all together and just be around like-minded people. So again, convention too, put it on your list of things to do because the energy is unreal. Like campus tour, do it. Anything that you can take advantage of, do it, because it's so amazing, and you cannot put into words like what you get out of it. And watching it this year on online was great, but it's lacking that connection, right? It's lacking out of that. Oh my gosh, they have like doTERRA is the best when it comes on to putting on stuff. Their product showcase at convention was like insane. I was like, oh, this is amazing, everything's hands-on. Yeah, and I think that's it. So, and then after that it was like BOGOs. Every BOGO I would hit silver till finally, so just continuing to build, and then getting to a solid sustainable silver. I have Leah and Jamie, Shannon, Macy, but Leah and Shannon and Jamie were with me from the beginning, and I couldn't be silver without them. Them showing up to do their work too, and being with me on this journey. Leah, I think, was with me from the beginning, so I always thank her for having that trust. She had just jumped out of like Rodan and Fields and just was like, okay, I'll do doTERRA too with you guys, and Pomai. Pomai's been there from the beginning too. So yeah, that's kind of like my journey to silver. So hold that thought. I have Ashley's things of what will flow like. Okay. Oh yeah. What made me say yes to the biz? I didn't have any. I go just asked and I said yes because I love the product. So sometimes for me, I have a hard time relating when I ask somebody and they say no. And I'm like, how come? Like, you love your oils, like why not? Like, you can get, right, like she said, like so easy, you get paid for sharing. But yeah, there was really nothing, no misconceptions. And my mom was somebody that did like Quick Start and Amway. So I'm very familiar with like, multi-level marketing, network marketing, but I didn't really have like this opinion of what it was, but I know that a lot of people do. But I think it's the best program format of business building ever, because you're really network marketing every single day. Like you see a good movie, what do? You're going to tell your friends. You eat something good, what are you going to do? You're going to tell your friends, right? So already you're networking, you're spreading these things. It's just in a different way when it's like, oh, you should share these oils. They're like, oh, like, but you're doing it every single day. Everybody is a promoter for something else, and we're all doing it. So again, why not get paid for it? I think, what did you want me to go on, like, tips? Mm,
Great. Do you guys have any questions so far? Charity, so you were talking about how you're at Elite for a little while. When you jumped to Premier then Silver, was
mhm.
that something that shifted, or was that strictly just structural? Like you're at Elite for so long because you had three legs, and then you were just doing the things and you eventually got to Premier and Silver? Or were you at Elite for so long, also the structure, and maybe there was something that needed to shift within you to get you to
Mhm,
the next levels?
mhm. Yeah, and Corinne had spoke about it last one, but that doTERRA pyramid, right? That belief system, right? It's the product. Elite is the product. Premier is the company, and then Silver is belief in yourself, right? So again, when I reflect on my time at Elite, which was seemed like forever at the time, I was growing and shifting. Sometimes we were so I don't want to say desperate, but there's just like this, oh, why am I not there yet? Why am I not Premier? Why am I not Silver? Why am I not Gold? And there's all this pressure. But sometimes, you really got to turn back and look into yourself and be like, well, what do I need to grow in? Like, what is the lesson here? Like, how can I move forward, right? Because you know that you're capable of doing it, right? I mean, it's easy to get down on yourself in this business and feel like you want to quit, because there is nobody to blame but yourself, right? How fast you want to move, how slow you want to move, how you want to show up, what you're doing, it all falls to you. So I did feel like there was a shift um, coming into Elite from Premier. And then I hit Silver right away too, but I wasn't ready to, I think, be solid Silver just yet, because, right, it was only, again, BOGOs. So it's building up, learning a lot of different things about me, learning how to shine my light as a leader and trust myself, leading these people moving forward, visualizing what kind of leader I want to be for my team, what kind of values I want to have in my team, what I want to transpire down the line, because I feel like the way I show up is an example every single day to those under me, right? Because how am I going to say, like, oh, like, yeah, you just got to show up, and then I'm not even here. Like, well, what about you? Like, you don't show up. Like, yeah, you know what? Like, times are hard, days are hard, but just show up, like, to that call, to that class, like, whatever it is, like, just show up, because I promise it'll always make you feel so much better that you showed up, and you're the one that's accountable for you, right? So if you say you're going to do something in your business, you don't do it, your upline doesn't know, your crossline doesn't know, your downline doesn't know. You are the only person who knows, right? So you have to make you proud, right? It's like running. You go, oh yeah, hey guys, I ran 6 miles, but you only ran three. You're the only one that knows you ran 3 miles, but you told everybody else like you ran six. Like, I mean, again, like, what do you want to do? So yes, consistency is key, and that's just always my motto. And I tell my girls all the time, it's like, you just got to take a step forward, like one step forward is closer than you were one step ago, no matter how slow, no matter how fast, like, and don't compare yourself to anybody else. Comparison can be a very hard thing, like, oh, why am I not, we started together, why am I not where she is, and or whatever, not right, other people look at you, why am I not where she is? But that again is going to come back to you. What do you have to learn? What do you have to grow on? Because if you just like shot straight up to maybe, I don't know, like platinum, just from enrolling, getting all these things like, oh, great, 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 success, success, success. Then when you have this hard thing, how are you able to be, well, maybe not platinum, like silver, right? Because you're growing a team. How are you able to weather the hard times, and when your builders and your sharers are going through these hard times, how are you able to help them? How are you able to pull them up? How are you able to build that belief in themselves because they're just starting, right? Like you can't. So sometimes people feel like, wow, I've been in for a year and I'm not silver. Like, that's okay. This is your journey. Your journey doesn't look like anybody else's journey. What you can do in this business, which is the one thing that I love, is that you can be absolutely 100% yourself. Aside from like the pipes and the hardware of how this business operates, you can shine and be your own person and do it your own way. Ashley, she's always like cute, put together, her classes are great. And me, I'm like the opposite. I'm all over the place. Like sometimes like messy to the bun, and I say a lot, I stutter, and I just like, oh shoot, I forgot, guys. So it's different, like to hold myself to what Ashley does, because that's her like zone of genius. Like then that would make me feel bad about who I am in a sense. So, and like Noelle, I love the way Noelle teaches. She just flows. Like you could just pick Noelle out of a crowd and she would just, okay, you want me to talk about Rosemary? Like she's just gonna flow. Like that's the teacher in her. That's very authentic to who she is. But I've tried that way too. And guess what? It's a disaster, right? So getting to know myself, getting to learn how I operate, what's best, how I shine my best. And that way, my authentic energy brings in my people, right? The people that are attracted to me, the people who are supposed to be with me. I'm not out here to fight for all these enrollments from somebody that's like giving me trouble. Like, nah, I'm okay. And like even like with my builders and shares, like the right people who are supposed to be with me, the people that align with my heart and my vision, will come to me. Sometimes you just have to stop worrying about the how, like or need to know like the ABCD, and just have a little bit of faith that it's all going to work out, right? If you're consistent in what you do, if you have faith in what you do, if you believe that you can do this work, you can do it. Like you really can do it. you know Anybody can learn to do anything. It's your belief in yourself, and the I guess the bully in you to push you to not want to quit, because it's a hard business. It is a hard business. But looking back at 3.5 years of what I've been doing, like I'm super proud of where I'm at. And which would probably lead into what has Silver done for my family is it's provided like extra income at the beginning of this year. Like last year was crazy. When it shut down, people were losing their jobs. Like I still had an income. I still was able to help people and reach out and touch others' lives. And it was like transitioning, because prior to this, I built my business 100% in person, one-on-ones. I don't know what it was. It was just everybody wanted to be like one-on-one. And they're like, you know, I go and ask her like, well, you should do classes because you get more people. Because I'm like, oh, it's so time consuming sometimes with one-on-ones, because you spend a lot of time, you give a lot of energy. They're like, and you have to challenge yourself. You have to do this online. And online stuff scared me. Like talking in front of, I mean, I'm sure you guys, Ashley and I will probably remember too, that I used to shake when I would talk, like just volunteer to talk on team calls. Like it shook really bad, and sounded like I was going to cry. And I'm like, oh my God, don't cry. And like, it was horrible. It was so bad. Like, I'm like, oh God, please no. So it was a big shift for me transitioning into all online last year, but I still had this income. And then fast forward, my husband gets cancer. I have to stop working at Hamada, because I was just working at Hamada for like, again, extra money, pay bills, whatever, but it wasn't a full-time job. For those of you that don't know, Hamada is the old home bar kitchen. So go get their food. You see, I'm networking right here. I'm telling you guys about it. But um, shit, I just forgot. Sorry. Brain fire. Oh yeah. And I had to leave because it was just, he was really bad when he first got diagnosed. He couldn't walk. It was like taking care of another baby. And I was still able to get a paycheck. And, my team was so amazing because they still continued. I had to step back for a little bit. And, they continued to do their work and helped and supported me. And all you guys here too, like, really pulled together and like helped me to those times too. So I think that having this bond and family and sisterhood and brotherhood is probably the thing that I would have never found without doTERRA. And I'm so grateful, and I'm trying not to cry, but like people that I would have never met, and you guys have the best hearts, and it's so amazing because, right, we all connect for one purpose, right? We love these oils. We want to help people. We want to build this better future for our families and be able to give more and all this kind of stuff too. So yeah, silver, what it's done for me personally though, has showed me that anything is possible. Like anything you put your mind to is possible. Like that dream house you're dreaming of, that's possible. Owning a ranch, that's possible. Eventually creating a, I don't know, a nonprofit, whatever it is that you want to do. Like this business has taught me that I can do it. Right. So that's belief in myself. That's something that I want to show Aubrey. I've never really had anything for myself per se. I'm kind of like, whatever, go with the flow. When I was younger, very much so, didn't really talk. Leah can tell we've been friends since I was 7th grade. She thought I only spoke Filipino. Okay. And I was like that quiet. She was like, this girl talk or what? And I was like, oh yeah. And Leah was just, if you know Leah, she real Portuguese, right? She's like, so she's like, but we've been best friends ever since. So again, lost my train of thought. But yeah, so that's just the type of person I was. I was very like non-confrontational, like don't do this. So just a little bit of life history. I move up here and I'm just this fun-loving, just free-willed girl. And then I meet Aubrey's dad. And then, we get together, but he's the complete opposite, a little bit like, just kind of he was very different, and he's a very different person now, but at the time he was going through a lot of things which projected on me, and then all of a sudden I'm this person that I don't know myself, right? And then he's like, I was going to school at the time for occupational therapy. My mom was a physical therapy assistant, and she said it's such a great job. So I knew growing up I wanted to do something to help people, right? So I'm like, okay, occupational therapy, right? You're teaching people how to come back from an accident and do normal functions, right? I think that's great. And then Aubrey's dad told me like, no, like you got to go away. You're only going to get like a 2-year degree. So you got to go away to the mainland. And that was like an issue. So you should go into nursing. And then so drop everything. Okay, yeah, great. That's going to nursing. And prior to that, my mom was like, you should be a physical therapist. And so it's been this thing where people just tell me you should do this, right? And even nursing, like I loved being able to do like clinicals and again helping people. That's what really brought my heart out. Like that's what I love to do, is help people. Like God, you guys know, like, oh, you need anything, like you need help, but that's what makes me feel alive, so again, and then it was like, nursing, and then we go through this divorce. It's really hard dating somebody, and I have no help from him with Aubrey, so it was very overwhelming. Had to drop out of that, and then just kind of starts this. But after the divorce, I'm finding myself, and so it's like, right, the healing process, and like, well, what do I really want to do? Do I want to go back into nursing? Do I not? And I'm like, been in the industry forever. I thankfully get a job at Home Bar, which turned into like my second family. It did not technically lead me to RJ because we met in 2008, and he can tell you the story later. He had all the classics, stalker symptoms. So anyway, but we meet up again at Home Bar at 2012, I think. Yeah, but or maybe 11. I don't know. But anyway, in comes doTERRA, and then it's like, this is something that makes me feel good about what I'm doing and knowing that I can do it for me, right? I'm still helping people. Um, I'm still able to, yeah, just really help people, and I'm able to do it my way. I'm able to do it. Um, a lot of times you have to have a degree if you want to help people, right? You know, I did like 10 years of schooling and 40 G's in debt. Like, what do I have to show for it? Nothing. But again, this silver has made my position and solidified what it is I want to do with my life moving forward, and that's helping people, helping to empower people. Like, you can get 20 people, Pumai had told this to Leah, you can get 20 people that say no to you. Then you get that one person that says, you changed my life. Like that. I got tissue, guys. Like, that is, you know, that is what I'm here for. That is what you're here for. Because there are people that really need us. And it sounds like cliche, like, oh yeah, there are people out there need you, but your people are waiting for like each and every one of you, you know? And again, you kind of just gotta, like, some people gotta be very like visual. I gotta know how I'm gonna get to these people, but you gotta know like that energy you put out, that consistency of you showing up, like these people are praying for you, so anyway, sorry. um anyway, so silver has been a really big thing for myself. And when you're in the beginning, everybody's like, what's your why? And like, am I carrying all these stuff, like, hey, my family and like this. I'm like, yeah, my family too. And it's my family too, but my why was really like for me, like, this is something for me. And this is something that I can show my daughter. Like, you don't let anybody tell you what you can or you cannot do. Because if you want to do it, you go do it. It's going to be hard work, but you go do it. And if you believe in yourself and you just keep moving forward, you'll get there. You'll be successful. Like, we just live in a society where you feel less than, right? Compared to somebody with a degree. But you're not, you know? Like, God, I know so many people with degrees that are freaking douches. Like, and you're like, no common sense. And you're like, how in the world did you pass college with a master's? Like, come on, guys. Anyway. But yeah, so again, that journey to silver for me, and solidifying it was still took a while too, but that was something that I needed to go through and grow through. And now absolutely I feel confident as a leader, guiding my team, helping them when they have hard times, and welcoming in new people too. But yeah. Sorry, anybody have any questions? I'm not looking at this chat because I'll probably cry even more, but I think next was like best tips for you guys. I had just kind of jotted down pipes. Number one is pipes. Okay, it doesn't have to be any harder than that. Just do your pipes. And once you do your pipes, you can have the creative freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do. And the thing about this uh this job is that sometimes people feel like they have to be at a certain rank to do stuff, and I will say bullshit, because you don't. I think I was having team calls with my team. I might have still been elite, maybe elite or premier, but we would do small calls. It'd be like 3 of us and that was it. But it was good because we got to connect. So you don't have to be a silver level to start connecting with your team. You can do it anytime. I wanted to do dream boards and oils. I had no idea how that would even pan out, but I just put it together. It was great, and it was great for that season. I do it here and there, but not in like a full-on event style. But I thought, it's fun, and the only way you're going to learn how to do something is by doing it. And if you feel that pull, that intuition, that's your heart and your creativity speaking to you. So don't downplay that. Don't ignore it, because then there goes your zone of genius. There goes all the energy of attraction. There goes your energy of abundance, because you are literally denying yourself your truth. Um, so yeah, and personal development, I am the queen. If I got paid in personal development, I would be a billionaire. I would be a billionaire. Sometimes it is very hard, I know, to right pick out 30 minutes, an hour, but even just 10 minutes of filling your brain with good stuff, right? That is huge. And that has been a huge contributor to my success. And I know PD is not for everybody, but again, I think it's essential. Just find somebody that you click with, online or whatever. Like you love their rawness or you love their sincerity or how funny they are, whatever. Like seek them out, because it's not a one size fit all. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think just being authentic, being yourself. Like I said, there's nobody in the world that can do what you do, how you do it, like you do it. So don't feel this pressure to teach a class like somebody or do these big events or do these lives like that. Like, if you have something on your heart and mind, you should just share it. However you share it. If you want to build an online platform, great. If you want to do it in person, your in-person thing, great. I built my team. You guys see me on Instagram, I just babble a lot, but I've built it with one-on-one connections and right texts and calls, and so I've never signed anybody up from my online stuff, even though I'm very active on it. I just use it as a way to share share what I do, and I don't know, because that's how I learn. I just watch other people online too, like, oh, that's cool. So I feel like it's helping somebody, but I think when you're not authentic too, it again blocks people from finding you. It blocks your zone of genius, your creativity. So just be yourself, because you guys are all beautiful just the way you are, for real. And again, that's the best thing about our business, is just being able to show up as ourselves and do it in our own way, show up, to the calls, show up for yourself, show up for your business, because that's the hardest part. It's easy to quit, right? Because you can make some excuse like, oh, whatever, like, but when you really show up for yourself, that says something. You can't point a finger to your boss and say your boss pissed you off or you didn't like the rules of what your boss said, like, because you're your own boss, which is the easiest and hardest thing to do, right? Because you got to be the person that pushes yourself. Sorry, just checking out my notes, guys. Hold on. Yep, don't quit. This is your business too, you can't look at your upline to be like, do this business for me. This is your own business. This is what you put in. What you put in is going to show, right? What you put in is going to show in your output. So you don't put in the work. Don't expect like your upline to come saving you, like, right? Your goals is your goals. Your upline will usually check with you, like, what are your goals for this month? Because if their goals are higher, then they know where they need to pull in the work from, right? Like, you know, I've been fortunate when I'm ready to go for BOGO, like the team's all with me. But if they weren't, then I would know where I have to pull in the work, right? Like I run the numbers, I figure out what I have to do to get me to my goal, because my goal is not, right, somebody else's goal. So that's just, it's always on you. This is solely your business, and any help that you get from your uplines is great, but yeah. I think I said this too, but start envisioning. Again, you don't have to be a certain rank, but start envisioning the future of what your team looks like. How you want to lead your team, what qualities you want in your customers, what qualities you want in your builders, your sharers. Some of that. Like when I think of my team, I want it to be built around integrity and love and acceptance. I want them to be all from different walks of life, but we have the same heart and the same passion of oils and helping other people and helping one another. Like, and I feel that's very much what has transpired within my team. So again, like, what do you see? What do you see for yourself as a silver leader moving forward? And just know that at every rank you will have to grow, you will have to go through something. So it's not always gonna like, oh hey, I hit silver and then at gold I'm just gonna be fine. No, when you hit gold, solidified gold, like there's a whole nother, I'm sorry, a whole nother step, unfortunately. I think it's just continually growing. So surprise, more tears, but um yeah, just be the example, I think, of what you want to flow down on your team, and the rest will all kind of come through. And cheer yourself on for the smallest wins. I always tell my team, don't be tied to the response, right? Do the action step and move on. Don't even wait for it. You know, it cannot come for forever. It cannot come for 2 days. Great. You don't care because you did the action step of reaching out, following up, and you've moved on because you don't have time for that. Right. You time blocking, we're all busy, right? A lot of us are mothers, but even if you're not, you probably work a full-time job, you have other hobbies, whatever. Animals, God, they take so much of your time too, animals. So, you know, we're all busy. So respect the time blocking and set that boundary, like, okay, I have 10 minutes, so let's make these 10 minutes count, right? So boom, I'm gonna text blitz, I don't know, 20 people that I've been trying to follow up with, and that's it. You have been successful in that task. Keep it moving. Okay, because you sit there and you wait for a response and you don't get any. How do you feel? You feel bad. But your job is not to go with the response, right? Your job is just to do the action step and keep moving, keep it going. Again, you know, we're not here to convince anybody they need oils in their life or they need you. And trust me, anybody that doesn't want oils from you, they're missing out. And maybe they'll realize that in the long run. Or maybe they just, you know, we've all had them, customers from 3 years ago. All of a sudden it's just like, I need these oils, like, can you please help me? So it's like, it's the long game of it all. It's being patient. You know, you have to meet people where they are at, and that's your customers, that's your sharers, that's your builders, and then your soon to be leaders. um yeah, so don't be tied to your result, you know, like, just success comes from you doing it, and that's it. Build relationships with your cross lines. Yes, that's very important, because sometimes you can feel very alone. So these relationships really just kind of sometimes boost your morale, and you guys maybe ping pong ideas off each other, and do stuff and be creative. Those, I think, again, are just so important because they can help pick you up when times are hard, you know, personally and in your business, you know. So um that's always a good thing. What is this? Don't be scared. Oh yeah. And then just have like a mindset of abundance, you know. When I think you have that energy of scarcity, like, you know, like you're scrambling, like, oh gosh, I need this enrollment, like, who am I gonna, like, the energy is all off, and I feel like it works against you. So just know that, you know, you're abundant. You have a lot of people out there waiting for you. You get money, you get whatever, whatever it is. um yeah, I think that's it as far as my advice. Does anybody have any questions?
Jen has a question.
Mm.
Said, I'm curious, do you use affirmations? And if so, are there certain ones that you return to time after time?
Oh, yeah. So every now and then I'll throw in those pre-elite ones. Like, I'm lovable, I'm successful, I'm capable, um, I'm worthy. I always like to say this, and I always tell Aubrey this, is I am worthy of everything good in this world. I think it's important because sometimes you yourself, you don't realize that, or you don't feel like you are. So that is one that definitely comes back. And sometimes just when I'm feeling down, again, I'm like, I'm good enough, like, I'm capable. Okay, got it. Um, you know, and that is just, I don't know, like, holding on. I think, I don't know, that I'm a diamond. Like, I always say diamond plus, because I don't want to just keep it at a diamond. but I will put up like my ranks, you know, at uh whatever's next. So next I want to do like I still have gold, but then platinum, right? But that I'm capable of being a diamond. Yeah, I'm trying to think now because I do affirmations in the morning, you know. But yeah, good question, Jen. Oh, but yeah, you know, like you guys deserve everything good in this world and what you guys are here to do, you know, and like get, I don't know, again, like your people are out there waiting for you. And there'll be times, you know, like it's talking with Aiko and Jen, like there'll be times that you don't feel that drive, right? But that's not to say that, oh, I'm gonna give up on doTERRA. Maybe you just have to, like an artist, like you get a little bit of a block and then you have to go do something else that inspires and creates and then come back to that. And this thing, doTERRA, now your vision moving forward is even greater and bigger and flows better, you know? And so that's okay too. You know, you got to give, you guys hear it all the time. You guys got to give your self grace. Like, you know, you're like, what does that mean? Give myself grace. Like, you got to give yourself grace. Like, you can't beat yourself up about it because it's too easy to, right? But again, ultimately, at the end of the day, you choose how you want to show up. You know, you choose what this vision is, you know, because it's going to be hard working for somebody else, you know, it'd be hard opening up your own brick and mortar, you know. But I think what's great about this is that it's hard, but you do have the support, you have the resources that you need. Everything is there available to you. Your bonus is you have a team to do it with you. You guys cheer each other on, so you're not alone, you know. There is no way in heck that I'm ever going to work for anybody else. Like, I just, that's and that's one of the things I tell myself too, like, no. um and you know, RJ has been supportive, but I think over the years he has really seen like my passion and what it is that I do, especially him getting cancer and me transitioning into taking care of the oils, taking care of him with the oils. Like, he's, when he looks at what I do, he's like, oh no, yeah, like you're made for this, you know, like I know that you're gonna get there, you know, like I know what you're here to do. And that's like, you know, like, because sometimes they say they understand, but you can see like they don't understand. You're like, you have no idea what I do. But because he got to experience that firsthand, like I told him, like, every time I'm putting oils on you, that is my love, that is my healing energy just going on top of you, you know? It's literally like me giving all my love to you each single time. And so, you know, he had said it the other day, and it was very validating, you know, because it just also solidifies that your significant other now understands to the full extent of what you do for people, what these oils do for people, and why you're so passionate. And bless his heart, because he's like, wait, how much you make? I mean, you know, we didn't get taught sorry, that's not the right verbiage, but you know what I mean, to build out for power of three, right? We were taught like rank, and then all of a sudden there's like power of three bonus. We're like, what? So you know, now I'm working towards, I think I have one last leg to do my 1500, which is huge, you know, like, thank you. But which is huge, you know, on what it can do financially for the family on top of your unit level. And also that too, right? Like learning how to structure out for power of three, you can help everybody now under you make a little bit of money faster, because they're like, oh, some people, I hear them say, I only got power 350. I'm like, girl, do you know how long it took me to get paid $50 like with unilevel? Like, it was forever. So but anyway, yeah, so yeah, just don't give up on yourself, and always just be true to yourself, because I think that is when people shine the brightest and that you could really be successful is when you do it your way. Bite your pipes, right? But do it your way. So, anyway, I think that's all the notes that I have.
So amazing. Thank you.
Yeah,
Does
thank
anyone have
you.
any questions? It's almost hard to ask questions because it's like you just share it so beautifully, and like I kind of want to end you on that like wonderful note. But I'll let the girl like. Do you guys have any questions? Otherwise, we'll let it end at that.
Oh, I love you guys, and again, you guys had been such a source of strength when RJ got diagnosed. You know, I really don't know what I would have done without you guys because I'm pretty tough, but I really needed like people to lean on. And again, there will never be any words to express like the gratitude and love and appreciation I have for, you know, the text, you know, the reach out. You guys do a fundraiser, like, you know, it's like times like that, I'm like, oh, I'm not worthy. Like, I'm not worthy. So thank you again. You know, it's the team, the team camaraderie and the relationships you build here, like that's irreplaceable because I don't think I would know how to go forward if I didn't have you guys and doTERRA. So, and thanks for coming to listen.
Thank you. Okay, I'll let you guys write your last messages to her, and we will let you go. Thank you so much, Charity. We love you so much.
Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you.